All right, everyone, welcome into the first episode of the KC Current podcast. I'm Dani Welniak, your host, and you got to kick it off with the two visionaries behind the Kansas City Current, Angie Long, Chris Long, co-owners, co-founders of the Kansas City Current. Guys, thanks for taking the time to chat with us. This is going to be great.
This is awesome.
So fun, thank you.
Look, I get a chance to talk to you guys all the time, but the fans, the viewers, they don't really get a chance to have these one-on-one conversations with you. So we're going to get to the root of what defines Angie and Chris Long. So we'll start off with current kicks.
Good luck with that.
Yeah, right? We're going right to the root, right to what everybody wants to know. No, I'm just kidding. But current kicks, what would you guys describe Angie and Chris Long, or how would you? I know, hard hitters right off the top, you guys.
Oh gosh, I don't. Loyal, fun. I hope people think smart.
Yeah.
Entrepreneurial, competitive, demanding excellence.
I like that. Those are great because we talk at the Kansas City Current, we have a vision, right? There's a mantra that we walk in every day and we say, we want to be the best women's football club in the world. I think that's a little bit evolved. We want to be the best football club in the world, period. A little bit biased. I think we are. So, there's that. But how do you guys come up with a vision like that? And why do you believe that that sets the tone for everyone else within the Kansas City Current?
I mean, I don't think you could achieve greatness and do so over generations without having a goal that is that clear, but also that ambitious. Because you're truly trying to differentiate a city, a club, and do so on an international basis. It has to be something that everyone could point to. It has to be something that when you think of raising the bar, you can't go any higher than that.
Right, that's very true. In the first segment, we like to take a little bit of a look back on how we got here. So this year has been a whirlwind because we have done so much. Can you take us through just over the past year? I mean, people know the origin story of the Kansas City Current, but take us back through what's happened over the past year. What are some of the things that you guys are really proud of?
I mean, we were just going through this, and it's kind of, we're like, oh, no wonder we're tired. It's been an amazing year, but it's been a crazy year. We bought the club in Denmark. We bought Kerr, and then we won the league, and we're about to go to Denmark to play in our first Champions League. We launched an academy in Brazil. We launched the first Division II, sort of second team for an NWSL team, and have really been investing in that. And then even from a facilities perspective, we built a performance center that was actually bigger than the size of our original entire training center. We built a stadium in Riverside for our second team to play in, to host other events. We put in another 4 fields, bringing our total number of fields to, 2, 4, 7 grass pitches and 5 turf pitches.
Yeah.
We're developing the riverfront further between multifamily units.
As you can see where we're sitting right here.
Retail. We're obviously bringing even more on board here in the coming 12 to 18 months. We've announced plans to expand the stadium within only 2 years from 11,500 to 18,000 plus in seats. We brought a hotel online in Riverside, right by the training complex. It's been a crazy year, and sometimes you can feel like maybe 7 years in one, but feel like we're on the right track. And when you think about that vision, it can't take any less than this to get there.
No, and there's no stopping. There's no sign of stopping as well. You guys just keep going, and the vision is so clear, and there's so much that's on the horizon too. And Angie, you mentioned we're sitting right here in River's Edge, overlooking the Missouri River, which is, again, the origin of the Current's name. Yeah. What does it mean to be here now that the studio will be coming open soon? We'll talk about that in a second. KC Current Studios. But that we have a riverfront development. We have Current Landing here. What has that been like for you guys?
Look, I'm from Chris is not from Kansas City. He's an adopted Kansas Cityan.
It counts.
I'm from Kansas City, and the riverfront wasn't wasn't a thing. You know, I mean, you go back to the history. It's the reason Kansas City exists. This is as far west as you could get by river, and then you would get out and get in your covered wagon and keep going west. But this is the whole reason Kansas City exists, and yet we turned our back on the river for decades and decades and decades. And growing up here, you know, I say, you almost couldn't even walk down by it at all. It was dangerous. It was a dumping ground. And when I say dangerous, just because even just to walk on it, like there was nothing here. And this is the third longest river in the world. You look at all of the great cities that have their river as the center point of their city, and we were missing that. So to be sitting here as a part of being what has changed it, to be a destination now and something that the whole city is proud of, it's incredible.
As an adopted Kansas City, we'll have to figure out what the definition of that is, as I've been here a long time. But
Naturalized?
Naturalized, thank you.
Sounds good.
When you think about creating a new neighborhood on the waterfront with lots of energy, master planned, new concepts, obviously sports anchored, bringing another crown jewel to this area for people to obviously live, work, and play, but also for people to visit, right? I mean, that's special. And to have the progress now manifest itself, it's visible. People can see we're sitting in it. Yeah. I mean, I don't know, when you think about that entrepreneurial journey, you know, sometimes it's very much a rendering and then it's reality. We're getting closer to that reality and people are going to love it.
Yeah, and you mentioned that there was nothing out here before CPKC Stadium came here pretty much. I so vividly remember you guys scaling the rocks for groundbreaking when we broke ground on the stadium, but the boat arrived, you guys got off the boat, you climbed the rocks, we had an incredible groundbreaking. Just like in my brain, I think back to that moment and think of like how cool that was, that it wasn't just a moment in time, right? It was a whole event, and we connected the river to the stadium, to the groundbreaking, to the community.
It was actually really important for us to arrive by boat because, you know, you use the word visionary, and like I can see things in my head, and I can see what they're going to look like years ahead, but a lot of people need to actually see it. I thought it was important for people to see us on a boat, on the river, arriving by boat.
Yeah.
Because that part of the vision doesn't actually exist in reality yet, right? We're looking at the river. There's not there is a lot of barge traffic normally, but there's not people and passenger traffic, and activating the riverfront for recreation and even transportation to our stadium is something that is a big priority for us, and it makes so much sense.
One of the things I love about that exact moment, that exact story,
so good,
was the backdrop that we often don't get to tell. And I feel like this backdrop shows you the demand that people have to want to get back on the water. So we came up with the idea, let's arrive by boat. And you know, initially we asked a couple people, well, how do we get a boat? And people were like, oh no, there's not a lot of boats for people to get around here. And within no time, we got introduced to somebody.
The first people say, you can't get there by boat. Yes, you can. Like, we're going to figure it. Yes, you can.
And made it happen. Yeah.
And so we get a boat. We find someone who's going to actually drive it. It's going to pick us up at Caw Point, kind of take us down.
Yeah.
That was, first of all, an amazing thing.
So cool.
Second was, well, then what do you do? Because you need a temporary dock. And at the time, Massman Construction, Henry Massman's firm, was doing the Broadway Bridge.
Yeah.
And they had temporary docks everywhere. And this is incredible, for no charge.
It's brilliant.
He went and moved the dock that was working on the Broadway Bridge with all of their machinery, everything there, got it cleaned off. They brought it down, parked it right outside the stadium because they wanted to show too, as did the boat owner.
This is why he's naturalized Kansas Cityan, because like of how much people in this city support this community.
Incredible.
Really, it's amazing.
They're so special, and like that's a story.
They made it happen. We could not do that without the community embracing it.
Correct.
Right, and there's a lot of moments like that. Like you talked about all of the things that have happened over the past year. Do you have a story that specifically sticks out in your mind? Maybe not that one, but maybe another groundbreaking, or maybe another visionary moment, or even with Kerr coming online. Is there a story that maybe our fans haven't heard before that really sticks out to you?
One that sticks out in my mind is, you know, here we are, it's the middle of COVID, and like normal people, we buy a soccer team in the middle of the pandemic, and
yeah, totally normal.
We have no time. For those of you who don't know the story, it's a really long story, but I'll share this part of it. We had absolutely no time. We got this team mid-December, and we had to start play. Preseason started in mid-January. So the minute we get the team, we get a call from Kathy Nelson and the Sports Commission, and they had, I don't even remember where it was in downtown or on the plaza, that they had lined up all the flags of all the professional teams, and she said, we've added a flag for you. I mean, the ink is not even dry on our signature of getting this team in Kansas City, and immediately, like, we're welcomed in as one of the professional teams in the city. And so that sticks in my mind, is like just immediate support.
Yeah, just gives me goosebumps, because like that, and then the opening of CP Casey Stadium, I've heard the story multiple times, but I don't know if many of our fans have. What was that moment like for you guys, and being able to see all of those fans come in and now recognize that a lot of these kids will grow up in a world where they know that women deserve stadiums?
Oh, the story I remember most from that was the 1985ers that came to that match. We obviously profile them on a digital basis throughout the stadium. They had tears in their eyes. And these are women who are obviously trailblazers, had accomplished so much in their athletic careers, have accomplished so much off the pitch as well. And for them, the gravity of that moment brought them to tears. And they weren't the only ones. And I think that really caused it to hit home for us about what infrastructure means in a lot of ways. It's inspirational, but when that infrastructure is devoted to something that is that important and people grasp the moment the way they should, it's hard to beat.
I mean, I think for us, we felt this, I at least felt this huge sense of obligation to do it right. You know, to make sure that we open this stadium with excellence and everything we had, you know, dreamed it would be, promised our community that it would be, you know, promised our organization that it would be. And it opened and it was amazing. And but we were hosting, right? The whole time we're living this moment, but we're the hosts of it. At the end of the night, there was another person crying. I could not find Chris Long. And I finally find him, and he's sitting outside of the suite in a chair with just like a couple, like a little bit of tears in his eyes. I think just soaking in the magnitude of what we've done.
And I, as we talk through this, to be remiss, I mean, we had so many partners. You know, the construction, the engineering, I mean, I can go down the list. Obviously, all of our front office, all of the stadium staff. I mean, everybody was pulling toward the same objective, which was that March 16th, 2024 opener. And to finish that game, it wasn't just me that had tears. I mean, everybody was sheer joy. We did it. We got it here, record time. And not only did we get it in record time, this is a model internationally for everyone else to look at when they think about the proper way to run a women's sports team.
For sure. And you're not done yet. We're not done yet. There's still so much more to do. And I think it's inspired so many, from Jason Sudeikis to Holly Rowe. We saw her going to social media.
So great.
So cool. Wow. But like, from even the smallest girl or little boy to even like celebrities like that, what's the nicest thing or the coolest thing that anybody's told you about the impact that the Kansas City Current and your vision is making?
You know, sometimes I have a hard time hearing and digesting when those comments come, because I sort of hear them, but then I think about all the things we have yet to do. So I feel like that one's I got to take a moment to kind of dig deep in this brain of mine to ferret one out. Maybe I'll let Angie start.
There's almost too many to recount, but you know, once, especially when a woman pulled me aside and said, "I want to let you know I'm new to the community, and going to one of your matches was one of the first things that made me feel welcome in this town." And you know, so those kind of to another person who said, "I have a 21-year-old child with some special needs that works for you, and you have changed his life." We got
stopped on a Saturday. A car pulled the window down and said that.
It's those little things, almost more than the fandom. It's watching Croy Bethune give her shoes away.
Wow.
To her cleats away at the end of a match to a little girl, and then the thread that follows throughout the week of, what that meant to that little girl. And I feel like, okay, had we not built something of this class, we wouldn't have had the fans, we might not have attracted a player of the caliber like Croy. I mean, if the NWSL was what the NWSL or prior leagues had been, 15 years ago, I just don't think you have the environment that creates those moments that change people's lives.
Oh, and it's the magnitude, and also sometimes it's the quantity. The amount of people who will approach us within the Casey Curran organization and just say what an impact the CP Casey Stadium has made. And now with the current landing coming online, that will also be the case.
If I could add one, just thinking on the lines of Croy Bethune, who's an incredible leader, similar kind of concept. 3 weeks ago, had a mother come up to talk about her daughter, and she said, my daughter attended her first match, couldn't believe that this was purpose-built for a women's team, did not have much confidence, did not want to play sports, and this had a massive impact, and now she wants to play sports. So the fact that you have the players who are obviously amazing, you have the venue to showcase the players, and oh, by the way, they own it. If I'm coming into the stadium, that should be the norm. And if it's going to make that kind of impact, I mean, geez, that's generational.
For sure. And now getting an opportunity too, I want to talk about Casey Curran Studios.
Yes.
And the fact that that'll come online on Monday, and we'll have a big grand opening with Melissa Etheridge.
Amazing.
Having the current sessions and doing some interviews.
Amazing partner and friend of the club. She's the best.
Absolutely amazing. And it'll influence the next generation too, of not just, now female athletes, but also broadcasters. So the vision behind Casey Curran Studios, your thought process, what kind of impact you want it to make?
Yeah, I mean, I think, we've learned a lot in the last 5 years of being involved in a sports team, and our world of finance, which is obviously hugely important as investors, but to learn businesses, of marketing and content, and content is a big one, and I think it's a place where.
And we have the best content team. I'm going to throw it because.
For sure, yeah.
We all know
the best content team.
The best content team.
100%. But in general, there's not enough content for female athletes and women's sports. I mean, our lead-in at the moment is 5 minutes. And so you start to think about, well, how do you do all of the proper storytelling around everything, with the players, with the organization that you would get for the top men's sports. So, the vision is a little bit, and just to back up, I have a very special place in my heart for Good Morning America, because when we won the national championship with rugby, no one picked up our story, right? So we just all got on the train, went to New York City, wore our uniforms and our medals, and stood in front of Good Morning America and hoped they'd pick us up, right? But that, there's a little bit the vision of this broadcast studio is Good Morning America meets College Game Day, right? Where because I think to me it was really important. People are outside looking in at the storytelling and content being produced about players in women's sports in the organization. And then inside looking out, you have the backdrop of the stadium. So that sort of set the location. We're so lucky to be able to have that location. And I just think it's a great human interest thing. As you're walking along the river, you get your cup of coffee and your breakfast, you go see what's happening in the broadcast studio. It's part of an urban community environment that we want to create. And we didn't have the spaces, and we didn't have the calendar or the environment to create the right venue for the storytelling, and now I think we really do.
So you're saying we're going to see the next little Angie Long outside of Casey Curran Studios with her sign?
Absolutely.
Saying, let's go.
Somebody's rugby team's going to win the league championship in Overland Park, and they're going to be holding a sign, and we'll show them.
Yeah, I absolutely cannot wait, and I think that, especially coming from a broadcast background myself, it's super impactful to know that people are investing and women are investing in the next generation of broadcasters too, in places that have been primarily male dominated, and getting a chance to showcase players like Croy Bethune or Temwa Shawinga, or players that haven't been able to have that spotlight or that storytelling is going to make waves for the entire league and also for women's sports in general. So I'm so thrilled. I cannot wait. Like, I'm like a kid in a candy store. Cannot wait to get that open on Monday. So what are you looking forward to about that? I mean, Melissa Etheridge has obviously been a great partner, but.
What a partner to help us open it.
Yeah.
Really.
So as we talk about Casey Current Studios opening on Monday, August 3rd, and the big grand opening and the ribbon cutting, there's so much more than just that day. There's going to be so much beyond that and how we're producing and putting things together and telling stories. There are 3 rooms in there that I think are specifically of note. There's the photo room, there's the broadcast studio, and then there's the podcast room, which all have their own identities. Why do you feel like it's special that not only are we activating, there it is.
There's the horn.
There's the horn.
On cue.
And
there must be a goal
we're
somewhere.
celebrating because there's a goal. It's match day. But as we talk about match day and the excitement around that and how we will utilize Casey Current Studios, the vision behind that, can you talk about what you would like to see from that and how you would like to see it unfold?
Yeah, and so I would say a little bit, Dani, the pressure is on.
Okay, great. Let's go.
Game
on. I love it.
You know, we do have this vision of it being active all the time and it being a draw. So I think we need to put together the content that makes it a draw, and not just right before the match, but the hours leading up to the match, the day before, the day after. And when we talk about podcasts, like, we want to be able to be talking about this team and adding interesting layers of content for our fans to hear. I think the podcast room is an opportunity to tell our story, to talk about the team, to talk about to get on there and listen to coach, right? Like, there's a lot of voices that you don't get to hear, and we hope our players will utilize it as well. So it's been, I would say, a massive team effort on, obviously, your part, on the content team's part, on the production side's part, to bring it to life.
For sure. And between the content team and the production team and between the comms team, there's so many different things and avenues that we can utilize this broadcast studio for and utilize Casey Current Studios for. You talked about the storytelling aspect. Look, we're in here right now having this conversation and telling stories that most people have never heard before. So when you talk about even getting coach an opportunity to speak, or getting some...
Armis, you're on the spot.
Armis, let's go. Dude, we're doing lots of teasing here today, so you know, hopefully as people tune in, help us keep our promises. But also, like, we want people to be a part of the team with us. Like, we've invited the community from day one. So for them to be, for lack of a better term, the armchair quarterbacks with us to help us break down match days and game days and what's to follow. And then also the Good Morning America story.
Yeah.
We want little girls and little boys and families to come out and be a part of the game day atmosphere and to be able to see some of their favorite analysts or talent or players or coaches in that atmosphere, and also giving them a platform to showcase what this city's all about, what the Kansas City Current's all about.
We have such a story that's worth telling.
Yeah.
And we just need the backdrop and the setting to do so.
And that's what Casey Current Studios will be. And ta-da! If you guys haven't seen the logo, also, this is the first time you get a chance to see the logo, and it is fire. So, also a tease, come on out. The grand opening will be on August 3rd. You guys got to check it out. We're going to let the fans come in for a little bit, see everything, get a peek behind the curtain. And then, of course, Melissa Etheridge is going to do her thing and
incredible.
Have a few songs for us. So there's that. Awesome. Okay, so I did mention Temwa Shawinga. I do want to pick your brains a little bit. 2-time MVP, 2-time Golden Boot winner.
2 goals last night.
2 goals, you know, in WAFCON. No big deal.
Yeah.
Taking down the previous champ. Having a player of that caliber and having players that stand out on a stage like that. Do you guys have any fun stories, like with Temwa, with other players that maybe most people don't know about?
Any that we can tell?
I don't know if this is a secret story, because it shouldn't be viewed as such, but just, I mean, she is the most incredible person off the pitch. And when you think about her demeanor, how she's soft-spoken, it's really amazing when you think about, I think she's the best player in the world, and she's not going to be the one to tell you about it. Yeah. In fact, she's going to tell you the opposite. She doesn't tell you, when we talk to her, we congratulate her all the time because she's always accomplishing these amazing things. And she will say, that is my job.
Yeah.
My job is to score goals.
Thank you for giving me the opportunity. My job is to score goals. If I can't score the goal, my job is to give the ball to my teammate so we can get the 3 points. I mean, very humble, she's amazing.
And she'll literally say, thank you for providing me with all of this, environment and opportunity. And we're like, oh, well, thank you.
Thanks for joining us. Appreciate that.
Yeah, you're amazing.
Yeah, she is so phenomenal, has been so great to work with, and also, just so everybody's aware, did not know English until she came over here and had to learn it. So what you guys are seeing now in terms of the storytelling piece of it, just a phenomenal human, incredibly intelligent, and as you can tell, a phenomenal athlete that draws people back for game after game. Like the atmosphere at CPKC Stadium draws you back. Tim Washawinga's play draws you back.
For sure.
What I think is also most remarkable about Timwa is the rate of development as well.
Yeah, that's a good point.
She's just getting, I mean, the best is yet to come, and that's hard to kind of say in the context, right, of the MVP, reigning MVP, and obviously Golden Boot winner, but so many things she continues to do at higher and higher levels of excellence.
Yeah.
That's a testament to her and how hard she works.
For sure. And we talk about her like she's obviously an African player. We talk about all of these different players that have an opportunity to come over, play with the current or with the NWSL. But I also think it's important to take note of all the things that have happened over the past year, all the things that you guys have done with acquiring HB Kerr, with KC Current 2 coming online. I think there's a lot of times that people don't really realize what the multi-club model looks like or what the right way to do that is. So how are you guys approaching that, and what is the message to fans all across the globe for your vision behind growing the brand that way?
That's a great question, because there are, multi-club model doesn't mean one thing.
Right.
I think many organizations do it very, very differently. For us, our first other club was Denmark, and that for us is a big play to get into Champions League, compete, and put ourselves on the stage with the best European clubs. It's also one thing that's important for us is to be in places where we can have impact, and we have a great partnership with that city and that area, and I think we're really able to impact the town and the community there, and are well on our way to being the best team in Scandinavia, which is very fun. I think it is a global sport. We are looking all across the globe. You don't have to look too much further than Brazil to see besides the Americans, I would argue the Brazilians have had the most impact on our league, as a country. Maybe Africa as a continent, maybe, but the Brazilians have been excellent in our league for a long time, and yet we're the first women's club to open an academy in Brazil, the first in South America, actually, for another professional club. And so that is really fun, and we just see tremendous amount of talent. So when we think about putting all of the pieces together, by the way, there's other areas of the world that we are, shall we say, exploring now as we continue to build this out. But we're really picky about where we go. Again, in E2, where we are in Brazil, we have a fantastic partnership with the city, and just think it's a lot easier to have impact when you do have the right partnerships. But for us, it's about the play on the field, building the right model, having multiple different places to develop players. Player development is a huge one for us, as you see in the our second team. And now we have the second team, we have the Denmark team, we have a Brazil academy, we have the Kansas City Current, things to come. And along the stages of development, different people may need different things at different times. And I think that development extends beyond just players, but also into staff. And you mentioned you're excited about the opportunity to grow more young people in broadcast.
Yeah.
And we think of all these clubs as a way to have better opportunities for our coaching staff or any parts of our staff.
Yeah, and it's not just that you're doing it, it's that it's already been successful in the short amount of time. I mean, KC Current 2 just clinched the WPSL championship, Kerr the double, between development and also doing this, it's not being done half-heartedly.
Definitely not.
I think the blueprint, right? I mean, invest in the community, invest in people, invest in infrastructure. A sub bullet of that is certainly invest in youth. And I think that we are doing something really special in all of those. But it takes the right people around the table. I mean, I'm so proud of the people that we have in Denmark. I'm so proud of the people that we have now in Brazil. Of course, I wax poetically about our team here, around the team with the Kansas City Current. So as long as I think we continue to find those amazing people with shared vision and again, invest in people, community facilities, it's going to be a powerful model.
For sure. And we're seeing that, which is so cool to see that some of the benefits are already being reaped from what you've sown. So, okay, I have a couple hot questions. I'm gonna come in hot. Are you ready for this?
Not sure.
Okay, so
Depends on what they are.
I don't think people know that you guys, like, you're not just owners. Like, they know that you're owners, you're co-founders, but I don't think they recognize that you're like fans. Like, you guys are fanatics when you guys are out there in your special spot. You have a special spot, right?
Yeah,
do people know
we
this
do.
special spot?
Totally.
That's great.
Yeah, okay, right outside of their suite, right there, like.
It's our good luck spot.
It's a good luck. Okay, that's the name for it. So when you guys are looking for them on the broadcast, you know where to find them, the good luck spot. So when you guys aren't there, just saying, gotta get there.
Sometimes it's okay to stray, and then other times you gotta get right back to that special spot.
Get back to the spot.
Change the mojo sometimes.
So with you guys being fans and you just like embracing the moment and embracing every step of it, 3 hot questions for you. Okay, favorite moment in KC Current history?
Ooh. It's got that first game, March 16th, 2024. Just the power of the moment and the feelings, the emotions, the infrastructure obviously being what we hoped it would be, and the stadium coming out so well. There's so many moments, but that's just one that's like never ever going to get diluted up here.
The goal. Every time we score a goal, it's like my favorite. I love the sound. I love the way the stadium goes wild. I mean, it's a huge. Feels like I'm a little kid again, and almost at a Kansas City Comets game when the lights would go off and the laser show would start. Like we have that moment when you score a goal.
Well, I do love that. So now, like, you drive by the train, you go by the train tracks or whatever, and you hear the train horn, and you're like, yeah, we scored. Even
if
though
it's
we're not even
actually
anywhere near the
stadium.
stadium.
I know.
I feel like that happens all the time down here on the riverfront. Even when we're over here at Current Landing, it's like, woo, all right, no, not game day. Sorry, guys. Back in the moment. But also, you mentioned that you were visual and you talked about goals. Favorite goal in CPKC Stadium?
Oh boy, there's been so many good ones. Oh my goodness. Temua's header.
That was good.
Oh,
that was good.
The way she positioned herself, the way she fought prior to that, the way in which our formation moved. I mean, it was a thing of beauty. And
that was memorable because it might have been her only header goal. Otherwise, her game-winning. How many times has Temua scored the game-winning goal in the moment that was so needed and necessary? It's sort of like growing up a George Brett fan in the 1980s. Like he would have that hit or that home run when the team needed it. His stats were good always, but when they were needed, his stats were out of it. And that's Temua to us. Like when it matters, she scores. And so again, I'm going to say the Temua goal. There's so many. The Temua game-winning goal. There's so many, but those are the moments that just make you a fan for life.
Death, taxes, and Temua goals.
Yeah.
Let's go. The inevitables. Okay, last question. Do you have a favorite kit and why?
Teal. I feel like the Kansas City Current owns it. I feel like we shine bright in it.
It took us a long time too to get that first real teal kit.
Yeah,
it took a while, and with just how the kit process works. I'd say the last thing is I think the players embrace that kit most, which obviously matters to us. They all love wearing it.
Yeah.
And then you
I do really like our new electric kit. Like I think it looks great and it looks great on TV, but the teal kit is special.
Look, the storm kit coming in. I mean, we've got all the meteorologists around here rocking it, so I might be a little bit biased towards that one. But the teal kit, I don't think, maybe people know this, the city is literally emblazoned on the teal kit. So
And so maybe they don't know this either. We play in red at home. We're the Heartland. right? There's teal everywhere in the stadium, and we represent our home and our heart when we're at home. But on the road, we take our teal on the road, but we take our city with us because the city is the backdrop of that kit.
For sure. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining me. The first episode officially in the books. Y'all were phenomenal. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Oh my gosh, likewise.
Thank you. Super fun.
And thank you for the vision that you have set for Kansas City. That is the first episode of the Casey Current podcast. Second episode, we're actually going to bring on Mukul Sharma,
All right.
partner at Palmer Square, and he's going to give us a little bit of an in-depth look at Current Landing and everything that's to come here on the riverfront. So thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you next time on Casey Current Podcast.